Guys, Fortnite's rocket event in OG has a major twist. Now, if you guys don't know, which I'd be very surprised if you didn't, Fortnite is replaying the rocket event from Chapter 1 on July 26, just 11 days away. And in the new update that we got today that had that really long downtime because they messed something up with the servers or whatever, we got some really interesting information about the rocket event, and it confirms a lot of the theories that we've had on this channel about the rocket event and OG's lore being completely different. And even though the exact mechanics of the rocket event will probably be the same as the ones that we saw in Chapter 1, there's something else happening at the end that is very interesting. If you've watched my past videos, you know I felt like something is off inside of OG. We literally had the bunker flashing the something is wrong Morse code. Like the loop is kind of glitching. Now we've got red rifts and corrupted butterflies pushing this into full-blown alarm mode. You heard that right, guys. The sideways rift at the end of the rocket event is actually going to be red. In addition, there's going to be red butterflies surrounding the rocket at some point during the event. OG was supposed to be just like the nostalgia escape, I guess, but now I think it's becoming a definite broken reality. Someone else is writing the script this time. You know, the sky rift is red, the butterflies are red. I don't think that's just visual flair. It's a clue that this isn't the classic OG anymore. In previous videos, I teased the idea that the 7 or the visitor is trapped, that the OG mode is a prison for the 7. Well, now we're looking at the evidence of that jail starting to crack open and the visitor possibly getting his first glimpse into the current battle royale reality. If you look back in Fortnite's history, butterflies meant the 0 point. More importantly, it meant 0 point instability. But these red ones, we really have never seen before. They feel like corrupted, like tainted. And the rift, it's straight red now. Not the usual purple or blue that we see from normal rifts, it's red. That color screams last reality influence and echoes the sideways aesthetic that we have seen before in Fortnite. You know how I've been saying that OG wasn't just replaying the past? Now it's actively deviating. These visuals aren't just like glitches or some type of visual flair like I said before. They're injections of like a broken code, if that makes sense. That's how I'm interpreting it, at least. Watching these subtle changes, I keep saying something's trying to hijack this world. There is something wrong. What we're seeing right now is not what we saw in Chapter 1. Maybe it is, you know, like literally it is the same thing, but in terms of the motivations and exactly what is going on isn't exactly the same, and I feel like these visuals are the clear-cut proof. Something that's really important that I don't think a lot of people have been talking about is about the significance of a red sideways rift. Now, we have seen this in Fortnite before, obviously not in the same shape, but in Chapter 4 Season 1, we saw this red sideways rift. And if you remember what it was caused by the rift gate's complete destruction. You know, the red rift emerged in the sky, and this act of destruction of the red rift by itself brought instability and the threat of unwelcome intrusions from other realities to the Fortnite island. Thus, we got Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 2 Mega. The red rift, specifically as a sideways rift, allows travel between realities, but can also cause obviously significant space-time problems and reality alterations. You know, it facilitates chaotic shifts inside of Fortnite. So whether or not the next season of Fortnite is actually going to be like visually or obviously different from what we saw in Chapter 1 Season 5, I think this is definitely interesting to pay attention to, because this always seems to signify, especially this sort of red color in Fortnite, especially associated with rifts, tends to always lead to chaotic shifts in the game.
I wanted to pop in real quick here, you guys, and say that only 3% of you guys watching this right now are actually subscribed to the channel. And more likely than not, this is not the first video that you've ever seen from me. So go down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I upload, which is literally every single day. I upload videos like these every single day. Additionally, use code PROZEROYT in the Fortnite item shop to help support me even further. That goes further than you guys could ever imagine. So please, anytime you buy anything, plug in code PROZEROYT to help support me even further so I can continue to make these awesome videos for you guys. Thank you guys for watching, and let's get back to the video.
Talked about it before, OG feels like a repeating loop, a trap designed to hold the 7 in place. That's kind of been my theory. Whether it's the last reality or something else, I feel like it's a simulation trap to kind of punish the 7 for trying to go against the last reality. And now that the timeline is kind of bending in this way and almost like kind of fully breaking, it suggests the loop isn't organic anymore. It's being manipulated. And I'm not the only one thinking this. You know, a lot of people have already theorized that OG is a simulated reality designed to imprison, you know, maybe not specifically the visitor, but the 7 as a whole, making them re-experience this over and over again. And this time, this could be the visitor actually getting to escape into the current reality. You don't put red rifts in OG without purpose. You know, something's controlling the scene, and I'm telling you, it's not Epic giving us just this tidy little nostalgia tour or just giving us something interesting to look at. This has a meaning. I promise you it will have a meaning in some way. Epic Games doesn't just do these things with lore. Like in the past, when they've done small stuff like this and we've ignored it, we look back and we're always like, dang, that actually did mean something. And I do think that this has something to do with the tie-in, you know, whether it's the last reality or it's, you know, the main BR, it has something more to it. Now, like I mentioned a bit earlier, the rocket event does seem like a break in the simulation, but one thing is probably going to stay consistent. We know that the season 5 changes, there's sand, and then there's also a little bit of snow at the top of the Viking Village mountain. Those are still probably going to play out, because if you guys look closely, and I saw this from Twitter, as you guys can see here from these rifts that are caused by the sideways rift, inside of season 5, we're going to see snow as well as sand going down from them, you know, for Paradise Palms as well as the Viking Village in season 5. So it looks like in terms of the actual mechanics of season 5, it will probably be the same, but this red rocket event doesn't fit that flow. It feels like a narrative disruption. So in terms of OG actually being like completely different, I don't think that that is going to happen. I think the stuff that we expect to happen is probably going to happen, but there will be slight differences that change how we think about the lore. If the visitor does realize that this is some type of trap, some type of simulation, or some type of thing to make him like experience this over and over again, and it's not just history, then this rocket isn't just, you know, a celebration or, you know, him trying to find the 0 point. It's the code breaking moment where he does finally escape, or, you know, maybe he doesn't, or this is just the way that he finally gets out of the OG loop or the OG simulation or whatever it is, and the red is signifying us of that. When you look at the branding of these red butterflies along with the rift itself, red butterflies plus red sideways rift equal their brand stamped on every frame. You know, they're broadcasting like we're in control, like it almost feels like it's right in front of us. OG felt like a prison for the 7. The last reality's whole purpose is to contain and consume like powerful people and keep themselves in control of the 0 point, or at least attempt to get in control of the 0 point when they don't have it. If they're running this show, then this rocket event might be the climax of their trap, how they break or hold the simulation. But overall, you guys, I think this is really, really big. A lot of people are just kind of throwing it to the side saying that doesn't mean anything. We're kind of upset that the entire event isn't going to be different. To be honest, I don't ever think the entirety of the event was going to be different. Like the visitor says the same stuff like 0 point oscillator on and stuff like that. But in just 11 days, we're going to be seeing if there is actually anything different. I haven't looked at any spoilers. I believe it is out there somewhere if you want to find it, but it will probably most likely be the same. But what this means is that little things could be different in OG, meaning that the entire lore could be getting rewritten in front of our faces in the OG mode, and I think that would make the mode so much more interesting. It would definitely make me want to play it more, and I'm really excited to see what these red rifts and butterflies mean in Fortnite. Let me know how you guys feel about all of this. What are your theories? Let me know down below. Drop a like on today's video. You watched all the way to the end. You must have enjoyed, so drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. I make videos like these every single day. Use code PROZEROYT, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.